15 minutes. I was more confident in it, full range of motion.
Mike and many others have given great testimonials for William Bray and Extreme Prosthetics at 400 South Broadway in Glasgow, which you can check out online at comfortforamputees.com.
Yeah, I'm a rather large guy, and it takes a special prosthetic to carry my weight. In the first meeting with Mr. Bray, he realized by looking at the material they used to assemble my prosthetic that it wasn't at the weight limit to carry my weight. And had I not went to that consultation, I'd have never known that.
Professional care from someone who wears a prosthetic themselves. William Bray and Extreme Prosthetics.
If you're just not confident with it, I'd say go see Mr. Bray.
Call 629-5347. Have you considered what your retirement looks like? Here are some things about retirement that may surprise you. 64% of retirees say they are confident about having enough money to live comfortably throughout their retirement years. Yet according to the Economic Policy Institute, nearly half of families have no retirement account savings at all. In 2017, more than 67% of retirees depended on Social Security as a major source of their income. The average monthly Social Security benefit at the beginning of 2018 was $1,404. Due to health care costs associated with living longer, 26% of workers now intend to keep working until age 70 and beyond, and 10% don't intend to retire at all. The 65 and older group is expected to become larger and have more influence in the future. Have you made arrangements for health care? Are you comfortable with your investment decisions? If you are unsure about your decisions, give the Fouch Wealth Advisory Group, Sam Dickinson or Brian Basinger a call at 270-651-2663. Investment counseling since 1854. Securities offered by JJB Hill Alliance LLC, member NYSE, SIPC, and FINRA. Investing in securities involves risks.
I'm Jacob Smith with this week's Trojan Report. Student drivers, just a reminder, a parking pass is required to park at school. Administrators will be checking the parking lot soon. See Miss Bryant to purchase a parking tag. You're not allowed to drive to school without a tag. It's homecoming week. Tuesday was Disney Day. Wednesday is Vine Day. Thursday is Twin Day. Friday is Burgundy and Gold Day. Prom is May the 4th. The junior class is selling candy bars to raise money for prom. Earn a free ticket by selling 2 boxes of chocolate. See Miss Harris in room 25 in the Science Hall for more information. The BCHS homecoming activities will be on Saturday, January 26th at halftime of the Trojans game against Todd Central. Here are this year's candidates. Band, Scarlett Burge. Beta, Caroline Kinsman. Best Buddies, Whitney Stevens. Broadcasting, Katie Martin. Cheer, Taylor Hensley. Dance, Grace Butler. Drama, Max Hutton. FBLA, Brianna Shirley. FCA, Mallory Pettigo. FCCLA, Destiny Garrett. FFA, Brianna Ridlin. Foreign Language, Maria Reyes. HOSA, Sailor Botts. JROTC, Mackenzie Martinez. SAD, Taylor Kinslow. Y Club, Brianna Crowder. Yearbook, Bailey Nunn. Pep Club, Freshman, Allie Bell. Sophomore, Maddie Anderson. Junior, Kayla Forshey. Senior, Maddie Murray. Winter Sports, Freshman, Ann Benning Jones. Sophomore, Malin Newberry. Junior, Micah Burrell. Senior, McKenna Burrell. Spring Sports, Freshman, Olivia Stice. Sophomore, Lara Simmons. Junior, Leah Jesse. Senior, Hayden Sutherland. On the sports calendar, Thursday, the freshman and JV girls basketball teams are at Glasgow. The freshman and JV boys basketball teams host Glasgow. Friday, the Trojans and Trojanettes basketball teams are at Glasgow for a district doubleheader. Saturday, it's homecoming at BCHS, and the Trojans and Trojanettes basketball teams host Todd Central. Girls' game will start at 5 p.m. with the boys to follow. Homecoming activities will be held at halftime of the boys' game. Also, Saturday morning, the boys' freshman and JV basketball teams will host Greenwood. Next Monday, the girls' freshman and JV basketball teams are at Edmonson County. Boys and JV varsity basketball teams host Russellville. Next Tuesday, the Trojans and Trojanettes basketball teams host Greenwood. For a daily rundown on what's happening at BCHS, tune in to our daily student radio broadcasts each morning around 7:30 and each afternoon around 3 p.m. on our high school radio station, Trojan Radio 88.7 FM, and online at barronschools.com. That's this week's Trojan Report from Barron County High, where opportunities create success. We are BC.
From the Kentucky News Network, I'm Jaleesa Chapman. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell says it's time to get serious about ending the partial government shutdown. McConnell praised the compromise Trump floated Saturday, trading temporary protections for Dreamers for nearly $6 billion in border wall funding.
Is there a plan truly to throw federal workers, DACA recipients, Customs and Border Patrol, and indeed all Americans under the bus just to extend this run of political theater so they can look like champions of the so-called resistance?
McConnell plans a vote on Trump's proposal tomorrow. If that fails, a competing measure would extend government funding for 3 weeks. Some Kentucky lawmakers are pushing for legislation to make all school campuses tobacco-free. Health advocates met at the Capitol Tuesday to support a bill that would prohibit the use of any tobacco products on school campuses. Smoking is currently banned inside school buildings, but not in other areas on campuses. 1 year after a teen opened fire at a high school in western Kentucky, a lawsuit has been filed by some of the victims' families.
16-year-old Gabe Parker is accused of opening fire at Marshall County High School, killing 15-year-olds Bailey Holt and Preston Cope, and injuring more than a dozen other students. Now, the families of 4 of the victims have filed a lawsuit against Parker, his family, and the school. The school knew how dangerous Parker was, but did nothing to intervene, resulting in the shooting. Parker is facing 2 murder charges and 14 assault charges. He was indicted as an adult. I'm Haley Hansen.
In Covington, Catholic high school students will return to class today amid heavy security. School and Kenton County officials developed a safety plan yesterday after threats continued to roll in against the students caught in a viral video confrontation in Washington, D.C. I'm Jaleesa Chapman.
This is the Kentucky News Network.
Parish here at Parish Carpet in Glasgow, Kentucky. My parents started this business over 50 years ago, so we know flooring here at Parish Carpet. We have a large showroom and a big selection in stock. We do custom binding and we do free estimates. We've served a lot of people in the 50+ years, and we'd like to thank each and every one of you. So if you have a flooring need, come see us at Parish Carpet.
Who will be the future face of Pettigo Lessenberry? Through expert analysis, we've confirmed their potential. With intense training, we've prepared them for any occurrence. We've taken their strengths and made them stronger. Now it's time to see what they're made of. Presenting the future face of ISU Pettigo Lessenberry Insurance.
Hello, I'm Jared Pursley.
And I'm Daniel Bird.
And we're more than prepared to serve you here at ISU Pettigo Lessenberry Insurance.
Growing with a proud community since 1902.
Lessenberry.
In Glasgow wants you to know that if you've recently lost a loved one or if you're thinking about a pre-need monument, they're here to make the process as stress-free as possible. With plenty of examples and a multitude of custom options, South Central Kentucky Monuments has the ability to offer you exactly what you want or help steer you in the right direction based on your preferences. Let my friends David, Jerry, and Adam Jesse provide the service and craftsmanship you deserve. To learn more, visit southcentralkymonuments.com. In area funeral announcements at this hour, James Lewis Wagner, age 80 of Beaumont, died Sunday. A private burial will be held at a later date. McMurtry Funeral Home is in charge of arrangements. Carolyn Adelaide Rutherford, 47 of Glasgow, died Monday at her home. Carolyn was an employee of Holly Carburetor and Home Instead. She was a member of New Life Ministries Church. Survivors include 3 sisters, Christina Merlot and Sherry Rutherford of Glasgow and Donna Rutherford of Horse Cave. 3 brothers, John Rutherford of Edmonton, Edwin Rutherford of Lucas, and Brian Rutherford of Horse Cave. Funeral services for Carolyn Adelaide Rutherford will be at 11 a.m. Saturday at A.F. Crow & Son Funeral Home with burial in the Evergreen Cemetery at Park City. Visitation will be from 2 to 8 p.m. Friday and after 8 a.m. on Saturday. Willie Victor Hogan, 82 of Bowling Green, died Monday. He served in the U.S. Army Korean War and retired from DJ Construction as a contractor. He was a faithful member and deacon at Beaver Dam Chapel United Baptist Church. He is survived by his wife, Lois Renfro Hogan, 1 son, Farron Hogan of Bowling Green, 2 grandchildren, Zachary and Dalton Hogan, 1 sister, Nancy Hogan of Bardstown. Funeral services for Willie Victor Hogan will be at 11 a.m. Thursday at Patton Funeral Home, Brownsville Chapel, with interment in the Hawkins Cemetery. Visitation will be from 2 until 8 p.m. today and after 9 a.m. Thursday. Memorial contributions can be made to the Hawkins Cemetery Fund. Emma Jean Hayes Wade, age 88 of Sumbershade, passed away Monday at NHC in Glasgow. She married James Wesley Wade on February 5, 1949. He preceded her in death in 2013. They spent all 64 years of their married life on their dairy farm in Summershade. She was a longtime member of the Summershade Missionary Baptist Church. Survivors include her 2 sons, Mike Wade and wife Elaine, and Mark Wade and wife Vicky of Glasgow, 1 daughter, Jill Wade Smith, and husband Joe of Columbia, 6 grandchildren, J.R., Allen, and Wesley Wade, Whitney Wade Young, Andrew Wade, and Taylor Smith Morrison, 5 great-grandchildren, Eli, John Miller, and Hayes Wade, Jackson Young, and Catherine Wade, a brother-in-law, Harold Wade. Funeral services for Emma Jean Hayes Wade will be Friday at 11 a.m. at the Summer Shade Missionary Baptist Church, with interment to follow in the Summer Shade Cemetery. Visitation will be at the church on Thursday from 2 until 7:30 p.m. and Friday after 8 a.m. The family wishes to thank the staff at Highland Ridge Assisted Living for their kindness and care during the 5.5 years where Emma Jean made that her home. We also want to thank the nurses stationed for NHC for their compassionate and professional care. And especially huge thank you to her caregivers, Caroline Campos, Ollie Huff, Diana Jones, Christy McNeil, Darlene Monday, Clara Stiltz, Linda Thomas, Susie Wells, and Norma Wisdom. Memorials may be made to the Summer Shade Missionary Baptist Church. Funeral services for Virginia Lee Page, age 83 of Hardyville, will be at 11 a.m. on Saturday at the Horse Cave First Baptist Church, with interment to follow in the Horse Cave Cemetery. Visitation will be from 5 until 8 p.m. Friday and after 9 a.m. Saturday at the church. Arrangements are under the direction of the Brooks Funeral Home. Funeral services for Rethel Davis Taylor, 87 of Cub Run, will be at 1 p.m. Friday at the Seago Funeral Home, with burial in the Cub Run Cemetery. Visitation will be from 5 to 7 p.m. tonight, and on Thursday from noon until 7 p.m. and after 8 a.m. Friday at the funeral home. The family requests that memorial contributions be given to the Cub Run School PTO. Funeral services for Marshall D. Bacon, 82 of Tompkinsville, will be at 11 a.m. on Thursday at Yoakley Tribble Funeral Home, with burial in the White Cemetery. Visitation is today from 4 to 8 p.m. and after 6 a.m. on Thursday. Funeral services for Bobby R. Floyd Sr., 81 of Bowling Green, will be at 1 p.m. today at the Hardy & Son Funeral Home, Bowling Green Chapel, with burial in the Boiling Springs Cemetery. Funeral services for Larry Douglas Garman, 79 of Glasgow, will be today at 1 p.m. at the Glasgow Baptist Church. Alternate expressions of sympathy may be made to either the Mary Wood Weldon Memorial Library or the TJ Community Foundation for the Sean T. Nicotin Hospice Home. Arrangements will be under the direction of the A.F. Crow & Son Funeral Home. Funeral services for Carly Tommy Strode, 75 of Glasgow, will be at 1 p.m. today at the Yoakley Tribble Funeral Home, with burial in the Monroe County Memorial Lawn. Funeral services for Gladys H. Craig, 81 of Glasgow, will be at 11 a.m. today at the A.F. Crow & Son Funeral Home, with burial to follow in the Glasgow Municipal Cemetery. Memorial services for John Robert Miller, 21 of Tompkinsville, will be at 11 a.m. today at the Strode Funeral Home in Tompkinsville. Memorials are suggested to either the American Cancer Society, Tompkinsville First Baptist Church Building Fund, Give Kids the World, Make-A-Wish, Camp Quality, and World Vision. Obituary information is available 24 hours a day online at WCLUradio.com. No login is necessary.
Center is Glasgow's only locally owned hardware store, and that means a lot to me. Lesenberry's has been in business for over 100 years. I walk in the store, they know who I am, and I get the help that I need. For me, Lesenberry's is the easiest place for me to shop, simply because it's a local family-owned business, and I feel comfortable when I'm there. And I'm glad there's still a place like that in Glasgow I can go to.
Extreme Prosthetics understands that when it comes to comfort and function, not all prosthetic devices are made the same. A properly fitted prosthesis can allow you to walk naturally without daily pain and discomfort. Extreme Prosthetics works with your physician and insurance company to help you get the comfort and function you deserve. Don't let your current discomfort and lack of mobility discourage you. Call the experts at Extreme Prosthetics today for a better, more comfortable life.
Glasgow Prescription Center is the culmination of my husband's professional career. When he took over GPC, he didn't want to be just good, he'd already done that. He wanted to be great. And I think his patients would agree that he's done just that. Could he get by with a smaller staff? Sure. The gift shop, the flower shop, delivery people, a brand new facility, none of those things are required to have a pharmacy, but that's why it's not just a good pharmacy, it's a great one. I'm really excited to see what Robert is going to do next because I know he's going to put his heart into it.
Find the next great piece for your
Financial Services, Inc., a wholly owned subsidiary of Modern Woodmen of America.
All right, WCLU News Time, 6:29, 53 degrees here in downtown Glasgow as we get you set for another questionable day of weather. Ken Boone with the Weather Channel has today's forecast.
Cloudy, windy, and rainy for us here today with a wind advisory in effect here this morning. Temperatures in the low to mid-50s this morning, falling temperatures back through the 40s here this afternoon. Rain will taper to an end this evening, possibly mixing with snow as it does. Cloudy and cold overnight as temperatures drop down into the low to mid-20s. Partly to mostly cloudy skies and colder for tomorrow. A few flurries or a light snow shower possible. Highs tomorrow upper 30s. Sunshine, colder upper 20s Friday. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone from the Weather Channel on WCLU, your home for local.
When was the last time you got your Ralphie on? What's getting your Ralphie on, you ask? When you're winning prizes and lining up the score in the arcade, you're getting your Ralphie on. When you're dancing under the lights on roller skates, you've turned on your inner Ralphies. When you bring your coworkers to bowl in the business league, your office staff has clocked in on Ralphie's time. If you suffer from symptoms such as lack of fun, feeling bored, if you get frequent urges to act like it's your birthday, or if you're just not smiling enough, you need to go to Ralphie's. That's Ralphie's Fun Center in Glasgow. A great place for any party, event, field trip, or church group. Get your Ralphie on.
Yeah, so didn't put a pause in there, and Ralphie's played, and we are anxious to tell you about the birthdays, and we know the phone lines are open this morning at 270-651-9149, but before we can celebrate, let's look at the constant coverage in-studio radar screen where we do see quite a bit of precipitation just northwest of us and due west of us, and even some areas of scattered showers across the Tennessee line, and we're going to get every bit of that coming our way as winds. We'll just let our guest host today tell us about our current conditions, and I'll introduce our guest host. It is Chastity Lowry. Chastity, what are our current conditions today?
Well, currently humidity is at 69%. We've got winds from the south at 18 to 29 miles per hour. The barometer is at 29.91, and currently no precipitation, but that's going to change soon.
That is going to change soon. So no precipitation over the last 24 hours. It's windy out there this morning, isn't it? Very windy. And, of course, this is Chastity Lowry, who is a teacher and who's also a Glasgow City Council person. And so we're happy to have you with us this morning, Chastity.
I'm glad to be here. Thanks for asking.
And, of course, we're going to talk about some stuff going on in city government a little bit later. Actually, not too much longer from now. But first of all, just want to thank you for being here. I know you've been in education for how long?
This is my 20th year.
And where are you currently teaching?
I teach 8th grade at Glasgow Middle School.
8th grade, Glasgow Middle School. Okay. Now, Chastity, you're also, this is your third term?
That's correct.
That you're just now starting on the Glasgow City Council. And are you on any committees other than the Parks and Recreation Committee?
I also work on the Finance Committee, and I've been on the Plaza Advisory Board for the last 4 years.
Okay. Excellent. Excellent. Well, I'll tell you what we're going to do. Since we already played the commercial, let's do birthdays, shall we?
All right. Well, celebrating a birthday today are Brittany Reed, Velma Sowers, Camilla Shive, Charles Watkins, Steve Garrett, Harold Bennett, Dick Lee. Laurel Jackson is 6 today. Judy Knuckles Lowe, Rebecca Lopez, Michaela Russell is 15, Jennifer Cox, Julie Shaw Kinslow, Kevin Shaw, Tracy Bertram, Chris Jennings, and Lisa Day Filippo. Happy birthday.
And we do have one anniversary, correct?
Yes, Josh and Melissa Beauty are celebrating their 2nd anniversary today.
That's great. That's great to hear. The phone lines are open for the Ralphie's Fun Center birthday list if you're looking to have a party or a celebration or even a business meeting. How about a big family reunion? How about Ralphie's Fun Center? They know exactly what they're doing down there on Happy Valley Road, and they bring a whole lot of people into our community. Thankful to have them and thankful for their sponsorship this morning. We'll come back in 60 seconds. We're going to talk about more fun that we could possibly have here in this community, and we have a vote coming up Monday night. We have our guest host who's going to be able to give us an expert opinion on that. And we'll come back here on WCLU in 60 seconds.
It can be a very lonely feeling. If you're in charge of settling an estate, closing out a business, or wrapping up a real estate transaction, how to dispose of the valuables, collections, and even useful everyday items can be overwhelming. Why not get help from the people who do it every day and have a track record of helping people in the same situation as you? We're talking Barren River Consignment. We are experts in handling estate sales, tag sales, and closeouts. We can do it at your home or at our spacious facility in Southgate Plaza. We price, arrange, organize, and display items to be sold. We advertise your sale, and we research items for maximum return. Don't take on this daunting task without getting the right help. Barren River Consignment will make it simple for you. Come by our store behind Pizza Hut in the yellow and green building. We'll explain every detail, give you a contract to read over ahead of time, and answer every question. Barren River Consignment can maximize your results. Call 270-629-6666 for more information.
All right, we are back here on Good Morning Live. It's Wednesdays with Wes, and of course, you know, I do a lot of the news coverage for the radio station, and doing these news coverage, I do a lot with the municipal and county governments. And over the last several years, we've heard about how are we going to improve our parks, and there's some things on the table. I previously reported last week that basically the Glasgow City Council voted 7-5 in favor of a $6.5 million option. There were two options that they could have voted on, a $6.5 and a $2.5, but it was brought to the floor first. The $6.5 million option, which would include the construction of an aquatic center. They didn't just dream up an aquatic center. This is something that there was a lot of planning. There was a survey. There was community interaction. So explain to us kind of the quick, it started, when did you say, as far as the first time this came up in the news?
The first mention that I'm aware of a master plan idea came back actually in 2014. I was on the Parks and Rec Committee back 2016 when the first groups came in and started talking to us about ways to improve our parks for the community. So this has been 2 years of interviewing firms, talking to individuals, public forums, the Hops and Horses event. The first Hops and Horses was the first time that Brand Center Carroll came down and did some public outreach just to find out these are community parks, and we want the community's input on what they would like to see in this area.
And that was held at one of your newer parks. Yeah. That one looks fine. But the survey part of it, to me, is really interesting, because that's basically what we're voting on here is the survey versus long-term finance.
Right.
So talk about that survey. Talk about what the people said overall that they wanted, from your opinion.
Those surveys were mailed out to over 2,000 individuals in a random survey in the community. Our goal was to get 20% of those back, and we were able to do that. When you look through those surveys, you see a variety of things, from disc golf to skate parks to security in the parks. The main two topics that came back to us was a new aquatic center and to renovate our current parks. If you've been to any of those parks, they are aging, and there are lots of things that can be done to make those better for our children and for older adults. That's something very important to me, that this is not just about building something for the youth in our community, but for multi-generations, so that we provide services to all the citizens.
Well, I'm honored to have you here this morning, because this Wednesdays with Wes, this is a way to give Dad a day off in the middle of the week. But I like to do this thing with somebody new each time. And so I'm glad to have you here this morning, because I've always respected the way you conducted yourself as a council person. Now, this doesn't mean all 12 council people are going to come on here, but I did pick you, and next Wednesday we'll have Marlon Witcher in here. The vote will have already taken place, but nonetheless his input would be valuable to hear as well. He's probably on the other side of this as far as his opinion and how he will vote. We're not going to know how anybody will vote until Monday night, but we'll hear from him as well. He's talking about, the financial side of it. That's a question that came up in the meeting several times, and there were even some who were for a $2.5 million option, but not necessarily the $6.5 million option. What, as far as your experience on that Parks and Rec committee, can you tell me what you would say to those who are worried about the long-term finances?
Looking at those two options, the first option was a $5 million option, followed by a $6.5 million option. And I want everyone to understand that none of the decisions that have been discussed or talked about were overnight decisions. There's something that the Parks and Rec Committee had worked on for a long time. We had brought this to finance. Councilman Gantz and I are both on the Recreation Department and the Finance Department. So lots of conversations were had of ways that we could be financially responsible while not having other aspects of the city suffer for this. So finances have been discussed. We feel like that we're in a good position now to make these improvements and to make an investment in our community. As you mentioned, our parks are aging and something needs to be done. Eddie Furlong's maintenance budget at the Parks and Recreation has been cut 62% over the last 10 years. And those guys are doing great work. They're out in the parks and they're doing what they can to maintain with the budget they've been given.
Absolutely. They've not been given a ton.
No.
They're doing a pretty good job. Really, I mean, I've always thought Eddie is really on top of his game over there. And I think what it comes down to, just talking plain, just without trying to be formal about it or anything, do you think that people who may not be for the aquatic center just want improvements to what we already have, or do you think they're more worried about long-term maintenance?
I think part of it is the misconception of what the aquatic center is. We're not looking to build Beach Bend.
We've not seen it,
right.
you know.
And I have some early drawings. We all do. It's all in our master plan. We have two different versions of what Branstetter Carroll says the vision is for our community. They looked at all kinds of demographics in the city to come up with that. I think they've built 120 aquatic centers since 1979. So this is their business, and they know that. So I don't think it's an issue of maybe not wanting a better aquatic facility.
I'm sure all 12 council members want this for our kids.
Absolutely.
And for, honestly, that draws in people from other communities to come here.
To generate that revenue and to be able to support the maintenance cost with the fees that are collected from the water park.
Yes.
And I don't want anybody to think this is about sides. That's not what any of this needs to be about.
You're trying to work together and make the best decision for the community.
Absolutely.
Both sides are.
And I would just encourage the entire community to reach out to your council.
Yes.
This is your money. These are your parks. These are our parks. We all live here and we raise our children and we're growing old here and we want our kids to come back here. So please get on the city webpage, find our email addresses, find our phone numbers, and contact us and let us be your voice. And that's what this master plan was about.
This truly is a big decision. It's a decision of probably historical magnitude. So we'll take a break from all the seriousness, if you will, and you'll stay around for the archives with us and just hang out with us this morning. You know, we're not here to just talk politics and policies.
And my kids can't get excited. I will be at school.
She'll be there on time. Do your homework right now. All right, so we'll pause right now. We'll get Sam Terry on the line, and we'll do the archives when we get back here on WCLU. It's 54 degrees now at 6:42.
Home at Barren River Consignment, where the inventory is designed to provide something for everyone. Affordable household items from mid-century to home decor, including furniture, artwork, dinnerware, glassware, and more. Each piece is cleaned and polished to ensure the highest quality to become the perfect fit for your home. Barren River Consignment also offers estate and tag sale services. Shop for style without breaking the bank. Barren River Consignment, located on L. Rogers Wells Boulevard in Glasgow.
TJ Sampson, providing TLC, Total Local Care, 24/7. My husband and I were both admitted to TJ Sampson. They were so good to us, and we will always go back to TJ, your local healthcare provider. Total Local Care, 24/7.
The only place you need to go for all of your automotive needs is Gilead.com. Log on to browse our entire inventory of nearly 400 new and pre-owned vehicles. Take a video test drive, see the Carfax Vehicle History Report, calculate payments, apply for financing, get an instant cash offer for your vehicle from Kelley Blue Book, and check out our sales, parts, and service specials. All this with just a click of a mouse.
Hi, I'm Fred Parrish here at Parrish Carpet in Glasgow, Kentucky. My parents started this business over 50 years ago, so we know flooring here at Parish Carpet. We have a large showroom and a big selection in stock. We do custom binding and we do free estimates. We've served a lot of people in the 50-plus years, and we'd like to thank each and every one of you. So if you have a flooring need, come see us at Parish Carpet.
At 270-651-7640.
Yeah. All right. Archives. It's that time. For those of you just joining us, this is Good Morning Live. I'm joined with guest host Chastity Lowry, Glasgow City Council person, and also a teacher for 20 years.
Yes, good morning.
And I'm sure I didn't have you in any classes when I was in school, but I'm sure that the kids love you. You just seem like somebody that's on their side.
Well, I sure love them.
Yes. So we don't have Sam Terry on the line, but that could change. Be listening for that little light to go off and the ringer to go off. If he beeps in, we'll be sure and get him right on the line. But we'll start out with a little bit of history prepared for you by the South Central Kentucky Cultural Center and the archivist Ray Green and Mrs. Gail Berry. And I want to thank everybody at the South Central Kentucky Cultural Center and Miss Sherry Wesley for doing a fabulous job preserving the history of our region. This day in 1919, I don't know if this is what we do. We go back 100 years and then we work our way up through the decades. And we're going to have the assistance of our local historian. Sam, is that you?
It's me.
Hey, how about it? That's good, because that was going to be awkward if it wasn't you, because you're on the air now. Like live.
Good morning.
We're live. Let's do the archives. So, I didn't even get the first story out, and I'm glad. Because this is your thing, Sam. You are the master at this. I do not, however, I'm still working on those pictures, Sam, but bear with me.
That's okay.
This day in 1919, and Sam, of course, we're joined with Chastity Lowry this morning, and she can hear you over there as well. So we're happy to have you here. Now, here's what we got. The remains of Worley Steen, who died at Newport News, Virginia, in Uncle Sam's service, were brought there Monday and taken to the home of his father, Mr. J.B. Steen, near Coral Hill for internment. Young Steen had been gone from home, as we were informed, for some 13 years, and it had been about 6 years since the family had heard from him. That's interesting. There's more to that story, isn't there, Sam?
I'm sure there is, and unfortunately I don't know it yet.
Yeah, it's coming.
That's a popular family and a well-known name in the Coral Hill High School area, and hopefully I will know a little bit more about Worley pretty soon. Kind of struck out on getting the rest of that story in a timely fashion anyway.
Well, we're sticking with the same theme, if you will, in the next decade, in 1929, where new funeral parlors opened in the Murray home, which was on South Green Street. Mr. J.W. and D.F. Brownlee opened a funeral home in the Murray Old Home, the corner of College and Green Streets. Both gentlemen are former Hart County residents. And there's an advertisement here, Sam, that would have been featured in the... I'm not sure which publication this is, but it says here, Brownlee's Funeral Home is now open for business, funeral, and ambulance calls. Given personal attention, telephone 195 Brownlee and Brownlee, 121 South Green Street, Glasgow, KY. When they were also the ambulance service.
Sure. Before 1974 was when we had our ambulance service started, and prior to that, the funeral homes operated the ambulance service. And talking about the Murray home, that's the very familiar John A. Old Red Murray house that stands
Which house is that? Tell me that.
Stands on South Green at the corner of College.
Okay.
More people would be familiar with it as the Dickinson Medical Clinic.
Yes.
And today it's Big South Realty and the Veterans Assistance Center.
That's right. That building's been put to really good use. They've never really wasted that real estate over there, have they, Sam?
No, it's a fine old home, and old Reb and his wife, Eugenia Garnett Murray, were very popular figures in Glasgow. They didn't have children, so there are no descendants. But Miss Eugenia's family had owned much of that area, and they donated the land for Glasgow Baptist Church to be built on.
I did not know
that. That's why Glasgow Baptist is where it is for over 200 years now.
And still wonderful, wonderful looking church. Of course, that's been rebuilt over the centuries, but
a few times.
That's right. Interesting stuff there, Sam. Of course, Chastity, feel free to just chime in if you see something you know about that you remember. I know you're not going to remember this, but this is history. This is local history here.
Despite what the kids think, I wasn't alive in 1929.
That's right. All right, this day in 1939, Mr. Wilson has been on vacation for the past few days with his family in Florida. He has many friends who will regret to learn of his leaving the WPA engineering service, which he had served very capably and conscientiously. His perseverance is largely responsible for the splendid quality of work that has been accomplished through his activity in this area. I'm not real sure what they're talking about here, Sam.
Well, I can solve that mystery. That actually is a paragraph that goes with yesterday's archive item.
Okay, so today's here. Oh, gotcha. Among Barron County teachers who are entering Western Kentucky Teachers College, Bowling Green, are the following: Mrs. Wilson Jewell, Mrs. Edna Adams, Mrs. W.M. Ritter, Miss Sarah Porter Redford, Miss Jimmy Harrison, Misters A.T. McCoy and Robert Sherfy, and Newman Lane and Frank Newberry. That's a bunch of people we know, or we know the names at least.
Some very well-known educators who practiced their craft for decades in this community. Many people would remember Mr. McCoy down in the south end of the county, while Mr. Newberry was in the north end of the county near high school.
That's right, and the qualifications to be a teacher have changed over the years, haven't they? But they called it the Teachers College before it was WKU, correct?
They did, and I'll give you a thumbnail reason how that explanation of how that came about.
Okay.
That was originally a normal school, and a normal school, which we had Glasgow Normal School here in Glasgow down on North Race and Front Street. A normal school was an accelerated education program intended to prepare teachers to go into the classroom. And accelerated, it was a 4-year program condensed into just 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
So you did 4 years of college in a 2-year span, and when you came out, you had a teaching certificate. And so that was a very popular thing. Well, people decided they didn't like the term normal so much anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how Western changed its name to become the Teachers College, because it was a little better representation to the average person what sort of careers they were preparing their students for.
Did you know that, Chastity?
I was not aware of that.
That's interesting. That is so cool. All right. Well, that's what we have. We keep learning as we go through the decades. We have an announcement from 1949 in the archives today. Another penny policy. And here's what they got. We do not believe in urging people to buy what they do not need, nor more than they need. That's why we do not advertise sales. That's why every day is a good day to shop at Pennies. People who want the best they can buy within their incomes will do well to study penny advertising. It pays to shop at Pennies. I like that. Just good, honest advertising. Look, you don't need all this stuff we have for sale. Sure, we want you to buy it, but we want you to be responsible. I can't think of a better advertisement, Sam. Why don't they do that anymore?
Well, you know, it helps keep the media going if they have advertisements.
Sure.
On the radio and in newspapers, and one store wants to one-up another store to lure those customers in. So, you know, I think we're all susceptible to advertising, whether we think it's a easy and wise thing or not.
A lot of competition today, too. Seems like you see something you think is kind of neat. You know you don't want to buy it, but you just click on it online. And then you get on Facebook, and they just bombard you with ads. Like, look, buy it from Amazon, buy it from eBay, buy it from Adorama. It's all over the place, isn't it? It's just crazy.
It is indeed.
But that's a nice, refreshing look at the way it used to be. Look, we don't have sales because we don't want you buying more than you need or buying things that you don't need at all. I like it. This day in 1959, we have in the archives the South Central Rural Telephone Cooperative Corporation, that's a mouthful, has completed the installation of an addition to its Glasgow Rural Exchange, according to Daniel B. Corman. Again, that name is Daniel B. Corman, who was the manager. The new apparatus increases the number of lines and conversation passed through the Orleans 8 office. The new equipment should substantially improve the service of their subscribers. That's good news as far as expanding communications here in our area.
Well, and Mr. Corman was a pioneer in doing just that. As the manager of the South Central Rural Telephone Corporation, he was so progressive in what he was doing to ensure that people all over, not just Barron County, because South Central Telephone covers more than just Barron County,
absolutely,
but some of the surrounding counties. But the rural areas had access to telephone service, and we really owe him a debt of gratitude for his perseverance. He worked there for many years and was a fine, fine gentleman.
And we're happy to remember his name on this day in history. We move ahead to the next decade, which is 1969. The mothers, let me make sure I'm not in another paragraph here. There we go. I think I'm on track, Sam. Thanks for calling that out on me a minute ago. I said, what are they talking about? All right, the Mothers March for Dimes, March of Dimes. You're reading what I'm reading, Sam. The Mothers March for the March of Dimes will be this Sunday. Miss Juanita Barden. That's the name. Juanita Barden is the campaign director, and Mrs. Joel Wilson is the chairman. So those ladies getting that thing started here way back in history 50 years ago.
Well, and you know, Miss Barton was a wonderful person, and many people remember her for many years that she worked at what was the gas company at that time, Western Kentucky Gas. Obviously has a different name now. And she was such a fine person, very active in Glasgow Baptist Church, and she was always very proud of her many years of service in the cradle roll department, as I recall.
In the what department?
Cradle roll.
Like the nursery?
The nursery.
Okay.
And she devoted a lot of time to a number of things, and one of them was the March of Dimes. And I believe she passed away just last year.
Well, I tell you what, people like that just leave an impression on you, don't they, Sam?
They do indeed, and the community.
That's right. Well, this day in 1979, we have another story here from the First Presbyterian Church. It was this day that the newspaper reflected that a fire had damaged the truck, and the fire was located in the library ceiling, the exterior walls, and the hallway ceiling. So it doesn't sound like it totaled the place, but it was extensive damage.
Well, it didn't total it, but it did have some considerable damage, especially to the education building there that's right across from the Glasgow Fire Department.
Yes.
And today you can go into their library and still find a few volumes that have a little bit of smoke residue on the spines of the books and so forth. But that was an unfortunate thing. And, of course, you know, the sanctuary portion of the Presbyterian Church is our oldest church building in Glasgow.
That's right. That came up in the conversation a few weeks ago for some reason. I'm not sure why.
One of our treasured historic places.
It is, and it's just neat, the architecture of it and everything. I like the fact that it sits right smack dab, just right in the middle of town. It's pretty neat. And good folks attending there. I got some family over there. This day in 1989, we have Sayhan Hunter. Am I pronouncing that right?
I believe so.
Sayhan Hunter was crowned the Barron County High School's basketball homecoming queen. Do you know Sayhan Hunter?
I do not.
I didn't know Sayhan Hunter either, but the homecoming queen. All right, and that was 1989 in history. This day in 1999, we'll skip ahead to another story where the facade of a building on East Main Street fell Monday 3 doors from the square. 2 vehicles were damaged, but no injuries. Scary stuff, Sam. Which building was that? Do you know?
I don't recall the exact building.
It's just 3 buildings from the square. I'm not sure.
That would be, I don't know what's in that building. I believe it was perhaps most recently, in my recollection, as a part of the county attorney's office that was sold
used to be there, yeah,
a couple of years ago.
Gotcha. That sounds right. That sounds really close. And that's scary. It's amazing no injuries were reported. This day in 10 years ago, actually, January 5th, 2009, it was Commanding Sergeant Major Philip D. Geralds, retiring after more than 28 years of service as the highest-ranking non-commissioned officer in the Kentucky Army National Guard. Major Philip D. Geralds, retiring after 28 years of service. That's what we have seen. It is the archives here on WCLU. Thank you to the South Central Kentucky Cultural Center. Thank you to our sponsors at Joseph A. Wade and Amedisys Home Health. And most of all, thank you to you, Sam, for your knowledge and for joining us each and every morning here on the archives.
Glad to do it. And how about doing it again tomorrow?
I think we'll call it a plan. Sound good?
It does. See you then.
All right. Have a good day, Sam. That's Sam Terry, local historian. And so, what'd you think, Chastity? A lot of history.
I think Sam is a treasure. He is so full of knowledge, and he shared that with our students at the middle school before, and it's just fascinating to listen to him talk about the community.
It really is. And I appreciate it, but not like Sam. But, I think about, and I like the way he talks about, the ladies who were active in the Baptist church. I grew up in the Baptist church, and those ladies are active. And they're the best people on earth. And we are, unfortunately, parting ways with some of the folks that have been around a long time. They have to go on to their heavenly home, and it makes you smile and think about, well, how wonderful it was to get to know some of those people at a young age. I know a lot of these people in the archives. I don't know them all, but Sam does, at least.
And it's those small moments and those common people that make the huge impact on our community.
It really is. It really is.
I'm so glad he shares his knowledge with us.
That's great. We're going to pause and take a quick break, and we'll come back and get your thinking cap on. It's close to trivia time. Stay tuned.
Who will be the future face of Pedigo Lessenberry? Through expert analysis, we've confirmed their potential. With intense training, we've prepared them for any occurrence. We've taken their strengths and made them stronger. Now it's time to see what they're made of. Presenting the future face of ISU Pedigo Lessenberry Insurance.
Hello, I'm Jared Pursley.
And I'm Daniel Bird.
And we're more than prepared to serve you here at ISU Pedigo Lessenberry Insurance.
Growing with a proud community since 1902.
Lessenberry Do-It Center is Glasgow's only locally owned hardware store, and that means a lot to me. Lessenberry's has been in business for over 100 years. I walk in the store, they know who I am, and I get the help that I need. For me, Lessenberry's is the easiest place for me to shop, simply because it's a local family-owned business, and I feel comfortable when I'm there. And I'm glad there's still a place like that in Glasgow I can go to.
Extreme Prosthetics understands that when it comes to comfort and function, not all prosthetic devices are made the same. A properly fitted prosthesis can allow you to walk naturally without daily pain and discomfort. Extreme Prosthetics works with your physician and insurance company to help you get the comfort and function you deserve. Don't let your current discomfort and lack of mobility discourage you. Call the experts at Extreme Prosthetics today for a better, more comfortable life.
Glasgow Prescription Center is the culmination of my husband's professional career. When he took over GPC, he didn't want to be just good, he'd already done that. He wanted to be great. And I think his patients would agree that he's done just that. Could he get by with a smaller staff? Sure. The gift shop, the flower shop, delivery people, a brand new facility, none of those things are required to have a pharmacy, but that's why it's not just a good pharmacy, it's a great one. I'm really excited to see what Robert is going to do next because I know he's going to put his heart into it.
Find the next great piece for your home at Barren River Consignment, where the inventory is designed to provide something for everyone. Affordable household items from mid-century to home decor, including furniture, artwork, dinnerware, glassware, and more. Each piece is cleaned and polished to ensure the highest quality to become the perfect fit for your home. Barren River Consignment also offers estate and tag sale services. Shop for style without breaking the bank. Barren River Consignment, located on L. Rogers Wells Boulevard in Glasgow.
TJ Sampson.
Now we fast forward in history to our present day. God still demands to see the blood in order to save us. Ephesians chapter 1 verse 7 says that it's the blood of Jesus that cleanses us from our iniquities. And in Revelation 7:14 it's those that have washed their robes and made them white in the blood of the Lamb that shall be saved. This has been Bart Warren for the South Green Street Church of Christ.
Don't miss a great night out for a great cause Saturday, January 26th at the Cave City Convention Center. Jeff Parker and Company, formerly of Daly and Vincent, with special guests Arthur Hatfield and Buck Creek, perform live to benefit the Cave City Volunteer Fire Department. Tickets are just $15 and are on sale now at the Cave City Convention Center or from any Cave City fireman. Jeff Parker and Company and Arthur Hatfield and Buck Creek, live at the Cave City Convention Center Saturday, January 26th. Get your tickets now.
All right, we're back here on Good Morning Live. I'm Wes Royce, your host, with my guest host, Chastity Lowry. We're having a good time this morning, but we've got to move. Chastity's got to get to school this morning, and so I just wanted to give you one more opportunity to kind of explain about the well, let's do the weather forecast, and we'll come back and we'll talk about this issue that's going to be close on Monday night, okay?
Yeah, it's probably not going to be a great day to be out in the parks today. We've got 69% humidity.
That's right.
The winds are really blowing out there between 18 and 29 miles an hour. The barometer reads 29.91, and we don't have rain yet, but if you take a look at that radar, you can see that it's coming.
Let's take a look at that constant coverage in-studio radar screen there. It's getting closer by the minute.
It is.
That wind is heavy this morning. However, you're lucky, no defrosting and no scraping today.
Now, the child in me wishes that was all snow.
Yes.
The school teacher in me says no. I'd like to be out by
Here's what I
July.
think. There's so much flu going around. Somebody asked me, y'all think we'll get snow? I said, I hope, because the kids need to be out anyway and get healthy. But that's just me talking there. All right, so let's hear what Ken Boone from the Weather Channel has to say as well.
Cloudy, windy, and rainy for us here today with a wind advisory in effect here this morning. Temperatures in the low to mid-50s this morning, falling temperatures back through the 40s here this afternoon. Rain will taper to an end this evening, possibly mixing with snow as it does. Cloudy and cold overnight as temperatures drop down into low to mid-20s. Partly to mostly cloudy skies and colder for tomorrow. A few flurries or a light snow shower possible. Highs tomorrow upper 30s. Sunshine colder upper 20s Friday. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone from the Weather Channel on WCLU, your home for local.
Some things to keep an eye on there in the forecasts, and that's what we have. So before we do trivia, I'm having Chastity Lowry in, who is a council person I respect. She's been there a few years now and serves on several of the most important committees. And so, Chastity, we have this issue of the aquatic center and the update to the parks, and it was closely contested. Some folks speculate there could be some vote changing going on between the first reading and the second reading. We don't know that, but you're a person, you've been involved with this since day one. You know that this is what the people want. What level of importance would you say these parks are to the overall aspect of what we do in city government?
I think that the parks are a big part of our community, and that when people come into Glasgow from other areas, they're looking at not only our businesses we have to offer, but they're looking at our school systems, and they're looking at our parks. And And just honestly, as the years have went on, the emphasis we've put on those parks has decreased. And I really think it's time for us to step up and continue on with this plan that we've been working on for the last couple of years.
I think that there's no doubt that there is definitely a visible need there. It's pretty obvious that some things need to be worked on. The question now is, can we not afford that? There's some who would say yes. There's some who would say no. But nonetheless, your city council people are going to be voting on that issue on Monday night. We'll have the live stream on our Facebook Live. You can watch it on EPB Channel 6, or just wait until Tuesday morning. All about it from me. But nonetheless, it's important to reach out to folks like you. You guys are accessible.
Absolutely. I encourage anyone who would like to talk. I'm more than happy, if you don't want to do it over the phone or through email, to meet anyone who wants to look at this master plan. This is the citizens' master plan.
Yeah.
They are the ones who contributed to this. And again, it's their tax dollars that will go to pay for these parks and to pay for the upgrades or an aquatic center. And
if you look at the comments on Facebook Live, I'll not mention any specifically, but it's 50-50. It really is. People are like, man, this would be so great. And then other people are skeptical, saying, well, we can't afford to do this before we do that. And, it's a difference of opinion, but that's why we call it a compromise.
Absolutely. And it's a difficult decision. And I just hope that all 12 members of the council, that we do our job, that we make those phone calls. I've been on the phone to various groups of people in the community. I've reached back out to Pat at Branstair Carroll. And, do your homework. Reach out, talk to people, and have the facts for yourself. I think that's important for the citizens and the council people. Don't take somebody else's word for it. Go ask the hard questions.
I appreciate your time and willingness to come in and speak on this matter, Chastity. Of course, turns out you're up and ready, going way earlier than I am.
Oh, I'm a huge morning person.
That's right. So, thank you for that. We're going to finish up your tutelage here by asking a trivia question when we come back on Good Morning Live. My guest host, Chastity Lowry. Back after this.
Let me ask you something. What do you see when you look at your home and your car? Do you see a bundle, a combo deal? That's how other insurance companies see them. But a State Farm agent sees so much more, because a State Farm agent sees your home and your car as more than just four walls and four wheels. They see the things you've worked really hard for. So why not give them the protection they deserve? Call State Farm agent Mike Bryant in Glasgow at 270-651-3608.
Hello, I'm Todd Lockett, ag lender with South Central Bank. When I made the choice to join the South Central Bank team, I was blown away by our commitment to customer service and relationship banking. At South Central Bank, we work hard to cultivate trust and respect. The vision of the Bell family has grown from one single location to 29 convenient locations, each equipped to handle any of your needs, from cashing a check to buying your dream home or starting your business or farming operation. I would love the opportunity to gain your business and show you why South Central Bank is filled with people you can count on. South Central Bank, small enough to know you, big enough to help.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
The colder air has arrived. Are you ready at home to deal with the colder air? Glasgow Building Supply is ready to help you with a quality Eden Pure heater. Keep your home warm with the efficiency of the Eden Pure. It comes in the low profile version or the tower version with the new and improved copper XH hybrid heat technology. Available in walnut and in maple, and available in the low profile and the tower size. Come to Glasgow Building Supply. You will see how inexpensive heating your home can be. That's Glasgow Building Supply on 31 Bypass in Glasgow.
Money may not grow on trees, but it does grow at Citizens First. Hi, I'm Dana Chapman, branch manager at our Glasgow Southgate branch. We have a checking account at Citizens First that earns you real interest on your money, more than most CDs. Our Platinum Plus checking account. Our staff makes moving your account to Citizens First simple and seamless by helping you through the process. We're committed to a brighter future for both you and our community. Citizens First, the best choice for the best checking accounts. Stop by today to open your Platinum Plus account. Member FDIC.
270-651-9149. Time to play Little Caesars Morning Trivia here on WCLU. 270-651-9149 is the number to call. I'll put the question on the screen for our EPB Channel 6 viewers and our Facebook Live viewers. And now our guest host, Chastity Lowry, will ask the question. Chastity?
All right, this is a pretty timely question with the Super Bowl coming up.
That's right.
On this day in 1950, the Baltimore Colts were formed after formerly being in what city and under what team name?
That's 270-651-9149, and we'll repeat that question one more time because it's a lengthy one, Chastity.
All right, on this day in 1950, the Baltimore Colts were formed after formerly being in what city and under what team name?
All right, we'll go to the phone lines now. 270-651-9149, toll free online at 1-800-956-1023. Good morning, Trivia. It wasn't the dial tones. Got some traffic and everybody's tripping over each other on the phone line here. 270-651-9149. This day in 1950, the Baltimore Colts were formed after formerly being in what city and under what team name? Can you tell me? 270-651-9149. This must be a tough one, Chastity. Must be a tough one. That or they're all calling at the same time and it's all busy. That happens a lot.
Well, I knew this one. I can take the little scissors.
You can't play today.
Oh, that's so not
You're
fair.
ineligible.
I got up early.
Trivia.
Robert Ursay in Indiana.
That is incorrect, but good try. 270-651-9149. Who can tell me this? Chastity, ask the question again.
All right. On this day in 1950, the Baltimore Colts were formed after formerly being in what city and under what team name?
Trivia.
Cleveland. Is that correct, sir?
That's incorrect, but good try. Hello, Trivia. Trivia.
What would be the Miami Seahawks?
Not the Miami Seahawks.
That's
all right. Keep trying.
So everything you read on the internet is not true, Wes.
Most of it's not. Trivia. Hello, Trivia.
Yeah, okay. Was that Atlanta Falcons?
Not the Atlanta Falcons. Good try. 270-651-9149. Trivia.
Atlanta Falcons.
Hello?
Yes, was it in Pennsylvania?
No. 270-651-9149. Who can tell me? Chastity, answer that question one more time.
On this day in 1950, the Baltimore Colts were formed after formerly being in what city and under what team name?
Okay. Who can tell me? I'll take 4 more calls, and then it's a stumper.
Should we give them a hint?
No.
No, you're not very nice.
If you walk in here and don't have to look it up and already know it, I can't give them a hint. It's not fair. Maybe one hint. Trivia.
Was it Maryland?
It was not Maryland. All right, you're my guest host. This is your day. Your one hint. Go.
One hint. I would tell you that both the city and the team name are still part of the NFL today.
But possibly separate?
But definitely
separate. I gave a half a hint. Let's go to the phone lines separate. Again. 270-651. We'll take 3 more calls, and then we've got to go on with our program today. Trivia.
Was it the Miami Seahawks?
That's not correct. That's a good guess based on what you just said.
This is true.
Hello, Trivia.
Was it Indiana?
No. Same person. All right, you're the last caller. You get one more shot.
Philadelphia Eagles.
Not the Philadelphia Eagles, but good try. It's a stumper, folks. Here is the answer. You want to give it to them, Chastity?
How about the Dallas Texans?
That's their Dallas Texans right there, and that's their logo. It's the red helmet with the white Lone Star State, and the Lone Star in the state is on the northeast side in Dallas. That's the Dallas Texans. So, no winner today. If you had not been guest host, you would have won, Chastity, because you would have called, you would have played.
Well, I would have probably already been at work.
Well, if you could have gotten through.
If I could have gotten through.
So.
I could have had dinner. Ugh.
Well, it is 7:18. I don't want you to get a speeding ticket. So
that would look really bad.
So we'll just call it a day with you, Chastity.
Thank you
has
so
been
much for
fun.
having me.
Maybe you'll come back sometime.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you so much.
Have a great day. Thank you.
All right. You too. Chastity Lowry, our guest host here on WCLU. At 7:18, we'll get caught up with news. Thanks to our sponsors at Little Caesars Pizza. No winner today. Maybe tomorrow.
Listen.
to the delicious crunch of Little Caesars' new Extra Most Bestest Hot and Ready Thin Crust Pepperoni Pizza for just $6. Hot and ready every day between 4 and 8 p.m. Just walk in and pick up a large, crispy thin crust pizza with the most cheese and pepperoni at the nation's best price of only $6. Little Caesars Thin Crust Pepperoni Pizza. One bite and you'll be back for more.
Pizza. Top 4 national pizza chains. Extra Most Bestest Thin Crust Pepperoni Pizza versus large round one-topping Thin Crust Pepperoni Pizza. Everyday standard menu prices at participating locations plus tax.
Barron County Business Supply. For all your home office, business, and school supply needs. They've just received another truckload of high-quality scratch and dent furniture at incredible savings. Chairs, desks, cabinets, more savings and more selection from Barron County Business Supply. Free next-day delivery to anywhere in South Central Kentucky. There's several ways to place your order. Visit their website online at bcbsupply.com. Call toll-free at 1-866-9-BARRON. Barron County Business Supply, the area's #1 supplier of office products.
CBS News Update. Day 33 of the government shutdown, and neither side is showing signs of budging on a funding bill. Republican Senator Marco Rubio.
This isn't going to end unless both sides are willing to compromise. The president has come to the table.
Lawmakers are expected to vote on separate bills tomorrow, neither expected to pass. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer.
There's only one piece of legislation that has a chance at arriving at the president's desk, and that is for the Senate to take up and pass any of the appropriations bills already passed by the House.
With furloughed federal workers set to miss a second round of paychecks Friday, small businesses are feeling the pinch. Robert Hoyt has laid off 12 engineers at his company in Seattle that does work for the government.
They were coworkers and friends to us. I expect it'll make it more challenging for us to bring in new employees here. In the small business land, it feels like we're being held hostage.
CBS News Update. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
The Royce Radio Family. WCLU, 1490 Glasgow. WCLU FM, 102.3 Munfordville, Glasgow. And W276DO, 103.1 Glasgow.
Insurance is all about families. That's true when you think about it. From insuring your home, your car, to the farm that provides for the family. Or that family business that continues through generations. I'm Jared Pursley with Pettigo Lessenberry Insurance. Don't you mean ISU Pettigo Lessenberry? Okay, Daniel, you always have to be right. I'm Daniel Bird here at ISU Pettigo Lessenberry, and what we're trying to say is that everything we do is for our families. So if you're looking for agents you can trust, agents who know where you're coming from, then we'd be honored to serve you and your family's best interest. Call us today at 270-651-8837.
A new year can often bring new challenges, but not when it comes to buying a vehicle at Bailey Gibson. At 306 Happy Valley Road, there will be no high-pressure haggling, just an honest effort to help you find the car or truck you're searching for. No stress or fret at Bailey Gibson in 2019. All you have to do is enjoy your new ride and that new car smell.
Yum! That new car smell is the best. It's almost as good as chocolate.
306 Happy Valley Road in Glasgow, the home of Bailey Gibson Buick GMC.
For WCLU Local News, I'm Wes Royce reporting. The Glasgow Police Department responded to a wreck on Lexington Drive Monday night when the driver, 34-year-old Megan Thomas of Glasgow, according to police reports, hit several mailboxes before coming to a rest after colliding with a utility pole. Thomas told police officers she had drank a few beers but was not on any drugs. After failing field sobriety tests, Thomas was then transported to T.J. Sampson Hospital for a blood test when officers learned of a plastic baggie with green residue in it. After further investigation, Megan Thomas was arrested and charged with driving under the influence, failure to maintain required insurance, possession of drug paraphernalia, and criminal mischief first degree. During initial contact with officers, Thomas stated that she was operating her cell phone at the time of the accident. A man claiming he had no other place to go was arrested for criminal trespassing third degree just after midnight on Saturday. Glasgow police responded to T.J. Sampson Hospital where the subject, Levi Poor, age 26 of Glasgow, refused to leave the emergency department. Poor had no medical condition to keep him at the hospital and told officers that he had nowhere else to go and wanted to go to jail. He stated that even he was to get out of the jail, he would commit the same crime again. He was lodged in the Barron County Jail. According to the citation, Poor also stated that he was on probation and that his parole officers should know he would fail a drug test due to recent consumption of marijuana. A Glasgow man was arrested on multiple charges after being pulled over by Glasgow Police Department for a speeding violation. 19-year-old Dylan J. Gibbons was arrested and charged with speeding 13 miles an hour over the limit, DUI, possession of marijuana, and license to be in possession after officers detected a strong odor of marijuana coming from his vehicle. After a search and field sobriety test, officers located loose marijuana and a vape pen, which Gibbons told police had THC in it. According to the citation, he was booked and lodged in the Barron County Jail early Monday morning. Also, Glasgow police were called to the Happy Valley Inn in reference to an alleged intoxicated person. Upon arrival, officers made contact with Kimberly Ann Deering, age 43, of Bee Spring. According to the citation, Deering had pill bottles in plain sight on her person, which was later determined to be Xanax by the Poison Control. Deering told officers the pill prescription was actually for her sister. She was arrested and charged with possession of a controlled substance third degree, prescription not in proper container, and public intoxication. Metcalfe County High School received a $10,000 check yesterday from Powerade to benefit the school's athletic program. Metcalfe County High School students, with the help of library media specialist Anita Love, submitted a video describing why the school deserved to win the, quote, Power Your School top prize. Entries were judged on creativity, originality, school need, incorporation of Powerade, and quality. The MCHS video described how sports at Metcalfe County High School is about so much more than the time spent on the field and the court. It shapes the adults they will become. The video was chosen as one of 50 grand prizes worth $10,000 each. There were 150 schools that won prizes worth $2,000 each. Timmy Garrett and Daniel Trowbridge, representatives from Clark Beverage Group Incorporated, presented the check to Principal Clint Graham and Athletic Director Matt Shirley during a pep rally at the school. They say, "I'm so happy for the school," says Shirley. "Winning this is a true blessing. We will put this money to good use for our students." Superintendent Benny Lyle said this is evidence of what happens when a group of talented and determined people come together for a good cause. We so much appreciate Coca-Cola and the Clark Beverage Group for the opportunity they provided for us. This is WCLU Local News.
Providing TLC, Total Local Care, 24/7. My husband and I were both admitted to TJ Sampson. They were so good to us, and we will always go back to TJ, your local health care provider. Total Local Care, 24/7.
The only place you need to go for all of your automotive needs is Gilead.com. Log on to browse our entire inventory of nearly 400 new and pre-owned vehicles. Take a video test drive, see the Carfax Vehicle History Report, calculate payments, apply for financing, get an instant cash offer for your vehicle from Kelley Blue Book, and check out our sales, parts, and service specials. All this with just a click of a mouse.
Hi, I'm Fred Parrish here at Parrish Carpet in Glasgow, Kentucky. My parents started this business over 50 years ago, so we know flooring here at Parrish Carpet. We have a large showroom and a big selection in stock. We do custom binding and we do free estimates. We've served a lot of people in the 50+ years, and we'd like to thank each and every one of you. So if you have a flooring need, come see us at Parrish Carpet.
Who will be the future face of Pettigo Lessenberry? Through expert analysis, we've confirmed their potential. With intense training, we've prepared them for any occurrence. We've taken their strengths and made them stronger. Now it's time to see what they're made of. Presenting the future face of ISU Pettigo Lessenberry Insurance.
Hello, I'm Jared Pursley. And I'm Daniel Bird. And we're more than prepared to serve you here at ISU Pettigo Lessenberry Insurance. Growing with a proud community since 1902.
You know you can depend on WCLU for local news on the air, online, on demand at WCLUradio.com.
Let's turn to local sports. In boys basketball last night in the high school area, we have Glasgow falling to LaRue County 51-73. It was Logan County defeating Barron County 65-61. And in more boys action last night, Thomas Nelson defeats Caverna 82-73. Also, Hart County beats Nelson County 79-60. And in an overtime match, it was Edmonson County with a 3-point victory over Metcalfe County 66-63. Allen County Scottsville defeats Greenwood 73-66, and it was Warren Central with a 10-point win over in-county rival South Warren 64-54. In girls basketball, Barron County defeats Logan County 65-53. Thomas Nelson defeats Caverna 81-65. Also, Hart County beats Campbellsville 68-56, and Franklin Simpson defeats Cumberland County 50-42. It was Allen County Scottsville over Greenwood by 10 points, 47-37, and Russell County wins over Pulaski County 54-50. It was South Warren Big over Warren Central 64-46, and in another overtime match, it was Warren East with a 3-point victory over Russellville 61-58. Just one game on today's local high school basketball schedule as the Metcalfe County Lady Hornets open up play in the All-A Classic State Tournament against Louisville Holy Cross at 9 o'clock this morning. And that's a check of local sports.
Taco John's presents Olay the Day Pep Talks.
Boys, 2 things to remember about sports and life. First, always wear a belt, and I do mean always. You don't want your britches falling down, right, Wachowski? Second, Olay the Day every day. There's no better place to celebrate a win or drown the taste of defeat than with the flavors of Taco John's.
Taco John's has the bold flavor you crave and the one-of-a-kind classics you know and love.
So strap on your belts, boys, and let's go Olay the Day.
Olay the Day at Taco John's.
Now open in Glasgow.
From the Kentucky News Network, I'm Jaleesa Chapman. Mitch McConnell plans to vote for Thursday on the president's proposal to end the partial government shutdown. McConnell praised the compromise Trump floated Saturday, trading temporary protections for Dreamers for nearly $6 billion in border wall funding. The measure is not expected to advance. A former University of Louisville football player and lawyer for Senate Majority Leader McConnell is running for Attorney General in Kentucky.
Daniel Cameron filed paperwork to seek the Republican nomination for Attorney General. In a statement, he writes, quote, "To keep this Commonwealth moving forward and to reestablish the Attorney General as the Chief Law Enforcement Officer of Kentucky, we need someone who won't use the office for political advantage." Cameron, an Elizabethtown native, graduated from U of L in 2008. He worked as Mitch McConnell's lawyer in Washington from 2015 until last year. Republican State Senator Whitney Westerfield is also running for Kentucky Attorney General. I'm Haley Hansen.
Nicholas Sandman, the Covington Catholic High School student at the center of the viral video controversy, will tell the nation about the incident Wednesday morning on NBC's Today Show.
Do you feel from this experience that you owe anybody an apology? Do you see your own fault in any way?
As far as standing there, I had every right to do so. My position is that I was not disrespectful to Mr. Phillips.
Covington Catholic High School students will return to class today amid heavy security. In central Kentucky, authorities have issued a search warrant as the search for a missing mother continues. Richmond police say the search for Savannah Spurlock has led them to a home in Garrett County. Spurlock was last seen on January 4th in Lexington. Police could not share how the search is connected to the Spurlock case. I'm Jaleesa Chapman.
This is the Kentucky News Network.
The Weather Channel brings you the latest forecast, sponsored by Southern States in Glasgow.
Do you know who your new Purina dealer in Barron County is? It's Southern States Glasgow Cooperative. Yes, Southern States now stocks Purina bag feeds, chicken, pigs, cows, and horses. Check with Frank or any of the friendly Southern States staff. Stock up on muck boots for the whole family and save 10% off. Men's, women's, boys, and girls muck boots in the latest styles. And as the weather cools down, check with Jimmy at Southern States to learn about ventless propane heaters from 10,000 to 30,000 BTUs. The staff at Southern States is ready to help you year-round in every way. 300 Sampson Street, Glasgow.
Cloudy, windy, and rainy for us here today with a wind advisory in effect here this morning. Temperatures in the low to mid-50s this morning, falling temperatures back through the 40s here this afternoon. Rain will taper to an end this evening, possibly mixing with snow as it does. Cloudy and cold overnight as temperatures drop down into low to mid-20s. Partly to mostly cloudy skies and colder for tomorrow. A few flurries or a light snow shower possible. Highs tomorrow upper 30s. Sunshine colder upper 20s Friday. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone from the Weather Channel on WCLU, your home for local.
Thank you, Ken. Let's take a look at the constant coverage in-studio radar screen as we are looking at a whole bunch of rain getting ready to come our way probably in the next couple of hours. As you can see, the western part of the state, and especially northwest, heading up towards the Illinois border there, getting quite a bit of rain. as well, and to the south of us as well. Also, our current conditions for today, we have the barometer at 29.91 with the south winds at 18 to 24 miles an hour, 67% humidity, nothing in the rain gauge this morning, but that could change here pretty quickly. And this weather forecast is brought to you by Southern States Cooperative. We'll come back and take a look at the birthday list. If anybody has a birthday list or anniversary or anything like that, give me a call here at 270-651-9149.
Berry Do-It Center is Glasgow's only locally owned hardware store, and that means a lot to me. Lessenberry's has been in business for over 100 years. I walk in the store, they know who I am, and I get the help that I need. For me, Lessenberry's is the easiest place for me to shop, simply because it's a local family-owned business, and I feel comfortable when I'm there. And I'm glad there's still a place like that in Glasgow I can go to.
Extreme Prosthetics understands that when it comes to comfort and function, not all prosthetic devices are made the same. A properly fitted prosthesis can allow you to walk naturally without daily pain and discomfort. Extreme Prosthetics works with your physician and insurance company to help you get the comfort and function you deserve. Don't let your current discomfort and lack of mobility discourage you. Call the experts at Extreme Prosthetics today for a better, more comfortable life.
Glasgow Prescription Center is the culmination of my husband's professional career. When he took over GPC, he didn't want to be just good. He'd already done that. He wanted to be great. And I think his patients would agree that he's done just that. Could he get by with a smaller staff? Sure. The gift shop, the flower shop, delivery people, a brand new facility, none of those things are required to have a pharmacy, but that's why it's not just a good pharmacy, it's a great one. I'm really excited to see what Robert is going to do next because I know he's going to put his heart into it.
Find the next great piece for your home at Barren River Consignment, where the inventory is designed to provide.
When was the last time you got your Ralphie on? What's getting your Ralphie on, you ask? When you're winning prizes and lighting up the score in the arcade, you're getting your Ralphie on. When you're dancing under the lights on roller skates, you've turned on your inner Ralphies. When you bring your coworkers to bowl in the business league, your office staff has clocked in on Ralphie's time. If you suffer from symptoms such as lack of fun, feeling bored, if you get frequent urges to act like it's your birthday, or if you're just not smiling enough, you need to go to Ralphie's. That's Ralphie's Fun Center in Glasgow. A great place for any party, event, field trip, or church group. Get your Ralphie on.
Couldn't have said it any better myself. Birthdays here on WCLU. We have Brittany Reed, Velma Sowers, and Camilla Shive kicking things off with our birthday list today. Charles Watkins is on our list as well. Happy birthday to Steve Garrett. Happy birthday to my buddy Harold Bennett. It's Dick Lee's birthday. We're actually patting on the back today, Mr. Dick Lee. If you see him around town, pat him on the back, tell him he's good as gold from his friends at WCLU and a little taste of Texas where good friends meet for great food. Home for the best steaks in town. Want to say happy 6th birthday to Laurel Jackson. How about that? Laurel Jackson having a birthday today. Also Rebecca Lopez, Judy Knuckles Lowe. We have Malika Russell, who is turning 15 today. Jennifer Cox has a birthday. Also Julie Shaw Kinslow. Kevin Shaw is 41 today. Also Tracy Bertram celebrating. Chris Jennings, Lisa DiFilippo, and David Young has a birthday today. All right, and we have one anniversary that I wrote down over here. Give me just a second. There it is. We have an anniversary today for, well, no, that's not. I tell you what, we'll pause and I'll find it and come back. Stay tuned.
The Empty Nest Inside Pharmacy Express is full of goodies like new fall fashion jewelry, home decor for every room, artwork, and much more. Check out the Cindy bracelets and On Who jewelry, both with great causes. The Empty Nest also offers wedding and baby registry. Make sure to ask about their customer loyalty program. For every purchase at the Empty Nest, you earn double points to redeem for cash off your next purchase. You'll find the Empty Nest is not so empty inside Pharmacy Express on the corner of Cleveland Avenue and the Bypass in Glasgow.
Good morning, friends. As we live out our lives each day,
I believe we should all give more attention to the way we are conducting this business called life. This may just be the year that Jesus returns to claim his faithful people and take them home to glory. Perhaps we would do well to wake up every morning thinking that this could be the year or even the day of Christ's return. That being said, perhaps we all should be more self-controlled, clear-headed, and careful to pray. Life at its best is short. Pray hard. We must have a fervent love for one another. Enough of this foolishness of hatred and spite and prejudice and disregard for others. All men and women are created in the image of God, and we must treat them as such. It's time to return to good old-fashioned hospitality. Many are so wrapped up in their own interests that they are unaware of the needs of their neighbors. We cannot live as islands. We must speak out in a kind way about Jesus. We must do this more and more. He's the only hope of salvation for all mankind. Remember, we are growing nearer the end of our days with each sunrise. This could be the year that Jesus returns. Let's make our last days our best days. This is Danny White for the Refuge Church of Christ.
Well, let me tell you, I never did find it. I just remembered it. It is Josh and Melissa Beauty celebrating 2 years today. Josh and Melissa Beauty celebrating 2 years. All right, we've got a little bit of catching up to do. We're going to take a 90-second break, and when we come back, we'll have tidbit news. Okay, stay tuned. Are you looking for a new career or maybe just part-time work? Ahead Staffing in Glasgow and Bowling Green can help make that happen. They're now taking applications for immediate job openings in the manufacturing and food production industry with competitive pay and benefits. The job market is in high demand for new employees. So whether you're looking for a full-time or part-time job, go see Ahead Staffing in Glasgow or Bowling Green and get started on a path to your own fulfilling career. You must be able to pass a drug test and you will be subject to a background check. Call 270-904-3777 in Bowling Green, or in Glasgow, call 270-361-5119 to learn more. Or you can always go to aheadstaffingbg.com. With so many opportunities available, see why Ahead Staffing is the place so many in Southern Kentucky have chosen to help find the right job for them. And don't forget to visit aheadstaffingbg.com.
Hey everybody, this is Earn Dog. I want to remind you all about the easiest way to remember where to find your next home or business. Just go to GlasgowKYHomes.com. That's where you'll find a complete listing of property available from Glasgow's Realty and Auction. Randy Gibbons, principal broker, is a personal friend, and I can assure you that he and Tara Vincent will treat you right. Located on the square in Glasgow, that's Glasgow Realty and Auction. Call 651-SOLD, and remember, GlasgowKYHomes.com.
Thank you, Earn Dog. That was Earn Dog, and our sponsor of Earn Dog's Off the Chart, Glasgow Realty and Auction, here on the Public Square in Glasgow. Also sponsored to you by Glasgow Tire and Auto Center. And Earn Dog is recovering from some minor surgery, so he's got the week off. Guess who's filling in on the Earn Dog Show tonight at 6 o'clock and tomorrow night at 6 o'clock? It's yours truly, Wes Royce. Going to be taking over the doghouse, if you will. And what we did for tonight's show is actually brought one of my good friends in, Mr. Chad Renfro, and he has got a huge record collection. So what we've done is we actually went through and just listened to old records. And when you hear the music tonight, they will be directly recordings coming straight from the record player, coming straight off the vinyl, hearing it the way that you originally heard the song. And that's what we're doing tonight, 6 o'clock, Earn Dog's Off the Chart. So join me for that. You're going to love tonight's show. I really think you're going to love it. So that'll be on both stations, 102.3 and 1490. Now, what do you say we do some tidbit news?
From the north, south, east, west, NEWS, here's the latest news.
From around the globe and up the street, it is tidbit news here on WCLU. No matter how devout or not devout you are in your faith, you will find this story interesting. It's a story about Marie Jean Pierre, who was fired in March of 2016 from the Conrad Miami Hotel for missing work on 6 Sundays so she could attend the Bethel Baptist Church. This is in Miami. This 60-year-old female, originally from Haiti, worked at the hotel for more than a decade and had previously not had to work on Sundays. A devout Christian missionary, she told her employer when she was hired that she could not work on Sundays because of her religious beliefs. She says, "I love God, no work on Sunday because Sunday I honor God." For 7 years, she was never scheduled to work on a Sunday, but then they, quote, set her up for absenteeism, which is what her lawyer says. She took the hotel, then managed the Hilton hotels to court, arguing that her rights had been violated under the Civil Rights Act of 1964, which protects workers from discrimination on the basis of race, religion, sex, and national origin. So here's what happened to this woman who was devout in her faith and honored God every Sunday, lost her job because she does not work on Sundays. She honors God. Well, a jury this week has concluded that she should be awarded $21 million in damages, plus $35,000 in back wages, and $500,000 for her emotional pain and mental anguish. Her lawyer says they accommodated her for 7 years, and they easily could have accommodated her, but instead of doing that, they set her up for absenteeism and threw her out. She's a soldier of Christ. She was doing this for all the other workers who are being discriminated against. So how about that? Sticking to your guns, if you will. How about that? Who knows? You could be a millionaire. Just don't go to work on Sundays. I just found that to be an amazing story, and I was looking for things to share with you all this morning. And I have another couple of stories to share with you, too, that are just as interesting. We have 2 Chinese firms who are giving single female employees over the age of 30, an additional 8 days of vacation time so that they can, quote, go home and date. I'm not joking. Workers at a Song Dynasty-themed tourist attraction can take the extra break during the week-long Lunar New Year holiday, according to a notice posted by the companies. Single women in China in their late 20s and early 30s are considered, quote-unquote, leftover women, or Xingnu, given long-held traditional beliefs that women who aren't married off by then are undesirable. Now, I would definitely disagree with that, 100%. This is not my story. This is a story I'm sharing. But China's marriage rate has fallen every year since 2013, leaving roughly 200 million single adults in the world's second largest economy. All this adding strain to China's demographics, where the population grew at a slower rate last year, despite the abolition of the one-child policy, raising concerns that they're going to have a shrinking workforce, which will hurt future economic growth aspects. But a couple of different firms in here are giving women who are over the age of 30 more time off so that they have time to go out and date. They want them to be married. So an interesting little policy there in China and at those specific firms. What's your take on it? Well, I don't know what I think about it. But nonetheless, if I'm a 30-year-old single female, I'm taking a day off. I might not go out and date. I might not have to feel like I need a man to make it in this world. And I definitely wouldn't feel like I was undesirable. Maybe I was just busy and on a different path of life. But nonetheless, that's my take on it, at least. Now, my third and final story for Tidbit News today is really funny. This is the bullet points, and we'll go through this. Just imagine, okay, with the internet and group emails and things that happen, imagine if you type something wrong, but it still went to somebody. And it happens. Check this out. Will Novak, a man from Phoenix, Arizona, was accidentally invited to a bachelor party for a man he has never met before named Angelo. Novak was added to an email chain because of a typo, but he decided it would be fun and funny to attend the ski trip in Vermont to commemorate the marriage of a man he had never met before. So a GoFundMe page, for those of y'all don't know, you can set up a GoFundMe account online and people can give you money for whatever cause you have. You can post your cause and why you're raising money and That's how that works. But it's called GoFundMe, and they set that up. A one cross-country flight later, Novak made it, and he had fun. In January, he received that unexpected email. Here's the catch. He didn't know Angelo, but he figured he'd been accidentally, so he had a weird sense of humor and says, you know what? I'm going to take this mistake and use it as an opportunity to make some new friends and go skiing. He says, I didn't know Angelo, and it seems like very far away for me to travel from Arizona to Vermont for a bachelor party for a guy I've never met. But he said, in a matter of words, count me in. So the party planners responded, confirming that he was welcome to attend the 80s-themed weekend. We all agree we're all very excited to meet you, as you sound tremendous as well. So they knew it was coming. They knew this guy was going to show up, and they had fun with it. So he went into motion. He raised $4,300 for the trip and took a 2,500-mile cross-country flight from Phoenix to Boston. He made it to the party, and he says it was fun. We went to bed at 5:30 in the morning, and we're starting to wake up, and it's kicking my butt already, he says. So Novak spent the weekend skiing, getting to know Angelo's friends. Now the question is, will he attend the wedding? According to USA Today, it's still up in the air. But nonetheless, you don't know the guy. He sends you an invitation to his bachelor party by accident. You fly 2,500 miles, and you go, and you make new friends. It's a small world we live in. From around the globe and up the street, Tidbit News.
It can be a very lonely feeling. If you're in charge of settling an estate, closing out a business, or wrapping up a real estate transaction, how to dispose of the valuables, collections, and even useful everyday items can be overwhelming. Why not get help from the people who do it every day and have a track record of helping people in the same situation as you? We're talking Barren River Consignment. We are experts in handling estate sales, tag sales, and closeouts. We can do it at your home or at our spacious facility in Southgate Plaza. We price, arrange, organize, and display items to be sold. We advertise your sale, and we research items for maximum return. Don't take on this daunting task without getting the right help. Barren River Consignment will make it simple for you. Come by our store behind Pizza Hut in the yellow and green building. We'll explain every detail, give you a contract to read over ahead of time, and answer every question. Barren River Consignment can maximize your results. Call 270-629-6666 for more information.
The Glasgow Scotties have what others don't. Tradition. And through 4 generations, Walbert Trucking has been there for every mile along the way. The Walbert family name runs that deep, and they're proud to support this group of young athletes who will keep the tradition alive. Walbert Trucking is now hiring both local and regional drivers. To learn more about the Walbert Trucking team, visit GoWalbert.com. That's Go, WALBERT.com.
At Southern Kentucky Collision, we know a lot about the weather, not so much about the science, but we see firsthand how weather can contribute to accidents, collisions, and mishaps that are dangerous and costly. We encourage you to know the weather and increase your awareness and remove any distractions when weather conditions worsen. Southern Kentucky Collision has many satisfied customers who were involved in weather-related mishaps. That's why we encourage you to pay attention at all times, but certainly when the weather turns bad. If you experience a mishap, call on the experience of Southern Kentucky Collision. 37 years developing an impeccable reputation of quality work and customer satisfaction. Located just across the track on Industrial Drive in Glasgow, let us take the hassle out of repairing a damaged vehicle. Need to talk? Call 270-651-6413.
Well, let's update you on the temperature. It's 54 degrees now in downtown Glasgow here at 8 minutes till the top of the hour. We want to say goodbye to the folks on Facebook Live who have joined us this morning. We're going to be playing a few tunes for you. I do want to give a shout out to the folks who turned in today. Dr. Mark A. Kuzma was on. Deborah Morgan says, good morning, WCLU. Interesting show today. Linda Steen, Aunt Juanita is on the radio today. Good morning to Dale Copus, Charlotte Glass, Luke Pierce, Chad Wiley, and Josh Fields weighing in on the Aquatic Center issue. Also, we have Dana De Torre, in there. And Donita Runyon, good morning, friends. It's not a good morning until we hear from Donita Runyon. And she gives us that old good morning.